Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video. AITA for confronting my mom when I found evidence of her cheating. My female 18, mother 47, and father 56 met when they were 24 and 33, respectively, and my mother was in graduate school and my father was well established in his work. My parents adore each other and have a wonderful relationship. She bakes him cookies when he's having a terrible day. She suffers from depression, so we'll sit with her and tell her ridiculous jokes to make her laugh. And they even share a birthday. Alex, my twin brother, stays with our parents and I reside nearby. I stole my mom's phone a few days ago to obtain some photographs. Her password is evident, and I spotted a picture of my mom kissing another man. I texted it to myself and then erased it. I didn't look at any more images, but I'm sure there were more. She despises cheaters since her father cheated on her mother, which devastated her. I snooped about when my folks were on their trek and Alex was gone. I discovered a section in my mother's walk-in closet. It was basically like in vibrators and some leather stuff. I doubt my father even realizes it's there. There were also several skimpy clothing that my mom has never worn. She's very fit and has a wonderful physique, but she never wears anything too short, tight, or low-cut. I took the outfit she is wearing in the photo since it was in the closet. When my parents returned, I told my mother I wanted to speak to her, so we went to the kitchen while my father went upstairs. I put the garment and my phone on the counter before my mother could say anything, and she turned white. She sees the outfit and phone, questioned where I got them, and told me I had no business rummaging through her belongings. That riled me up. I began screaming and cursing, and I asked her how she could cheat on my father, calling her a liar and a cheater, as well as I feel bad about that. My father walked downstairs at this moment, and I informed her that she had damaged our family and that she was no better than her father. She stared at me as if I had stabbed her. She just placed my phone on the counter and ordered me to go. My father wondered what was wrong since I was weeping so hard, and I attempted to explain what had occurred to him, but he asked me to go home and said he'd contact me later. I walked outside and waited in my vehicle for Alex. When I informed him, he embraced me and advised me to be careful and get home safely. My best buddy said that my parents were swingers, but I don't believe so since they love each other too much. Alex contacted my mom because she hadn't left the room. He believes she's embarrassed or humiliated, but he called me in a hole for how I behaved and what I said. I have no qualms about rummaging through my mother's belongings and confronting her. I'm sorry for calling her but she says I'm still in a hole. My father is too furious to contact me, but he has informed Alex that he wants me to return my home key and not visit. My father, I believe, was aware of her infidelity and dealt with it quietly. But why would she save that picture on her phone? I don't believe I'm a jerk for wanting to know the truth. Story 2. AITA for kicking my sister and her triplets out of my house when they are in need. So my sister D, 25 female, and her triplets, age 3, had to move into my house, 33 female, this week because there's needed repairs after a leaky pipe rendered it uninhabitable for a few weeks. My main bedroom's hard surfaces had been crayoned in less than 24 hours. My television is covered with jam. My boyfriend and I are sleeping in our little spare room/office to offer them the bigger bed, and my home is generally in shambles. I'm not very interested in any of this, but I'm included it to offer context for the magnitude of the disturbance. There are now 3 children toilet training with little success, and 3 adults in my tiny home, which, along with my medical condition, means that my bathroom is usually always in use. My sister is aware of my incontinence difficulties and how I cope with them. I specifically requested that while they are there, she ensure that I have access to the sole bathroom at set times, 4 20-minute blocks a day so I can do what I need to do on a minimal schedule, which is not ideal for me, but the bare basics I can cope with in the short term, and that bath time and other activities do not overlap those times in order to help me as much as possible. If I am out on time, the system will not function. Today, while washing her children at a time I'd set aside, Dee chose to use my illness, which I don't divulge without necessity, even to family, as a bad example to her children about why they should try harder to use the bathroom, and informed me I'd have to wait until they were through. After the kids were in bed, I urged her to make plans to find another somewhere to stay while her home was being restored, and that she had until Sunday afternoon to do it. I understand she doesn't have any place else to go, but I'm so upset with her that I feel like I've bent over myself to accommodate the 4 of them, and the one thing I requested she couldn't do for me. To make things worse, she was scaring the kids into action, which I find highly unsettling since they now know their aunt wears diapers, and I'm now exposed to the horror of kids having no filter and not knowing what they could say in any setting from now on. The whole thing has made me feel terrible, and now I'm lying in my bed thinking, Ada, why did you ask her to leave? Edit. Since many people have commented on the mess, I'd want to clarify that it will all be rather simple to wipe/scrub/mop and clean, and I'm not interested in having to do all of that, even if it means repainting a heavily scribbled-on wall. It's simply 3 youngsters who are overjoyed to be living with their aunts. It's not a huge issue. Edit 2. Yes, D assisted with the cleaning and tries to keep them well behaved. Edit 3. I'm really stunned by the number of responses. Thank you all so much. The kids have plastic potties, but they will not use them outside of the bathroom. If someone needed to use the restroom, the disturbance to my schedule would be minimal, and I would probably be okay with that. The 20-minute delay is more equivalent to a window than a block. The fact that my sister began bathing them just before my scheduled time is a problem. Another thing I blame her for, and the statement she made was incredibly insulting to me, leaving me with very uncomfortable nicknames among the kids. Anti-poopy pants or anti-potty pants. Update. Original and foremost, I'd want to thank everyone who replied on my first article. I was having a tough time with it all and was doubting everything. Your responses assisted me in sorting out my own views at a time when I needed some objective voices, and the cleaning advice provided was quite beneficial, so thank you. Now for the update. On Monday, my sister and her children moved into a vacation house. It was the fastest it could be arranged, so I ended up letting them stay an additional 24 hours. It's covered by insurance, and it's roughly a half-hour drive from here, so local to where we live. She'll be permitted to remain there for 2 weeks, during which time her own home will hopefully have been repaired. So far, she's managed to keep crayon off the walls, although I've heard there have been some close calls. My sister did, however, give me what I feel was a genuine apology for her acts and comments. I can realize that she didn't intend to cause me problems by baiting the kids at that time, and I have forgiven her for that, despite the fact that the stress of the situation has put me in a worse position than I've been in years. I did express to her that the thing I can't forgive is what she said to my nieces about me, which was demeaning and worse, was repeated by them. I haven't spent much time with them since the incident. I can't unhear those words, and they still haunt me, particularly when they come from the lips of a child. I told her it'll take a lot for her to win my forgiveness for that. This sparked another debate about how sensitive I am to my disease and how I should simply own it, stop whining and hiding, and instead be a good example. As a result, we are now at odds. My mother and other siblings have been drawn into it, and with the exception of her twin sister, all are more sympathetic to my point of view, or at least to my wish not to flaunt my illness. Even my youngest sister is astounded by her behavior and has sworn to raise the children better than their mother did. She babysits them on a semi-regular basis. Her twin is attempting to remain impartial and mediate peace, but I'm standing strong. I love my family, but I cannot forgive the cruelty in what she said to my nieces about me. It only took my partner and I about a day to repair/clean up after them. We had a few surprises, a few broken drawers, some damp pillows hiding under the bed, etc. But nothing that needed painting or substantial repairs. Drawer handles were reinstalled, were cleansed, and the walls were scrubbed. To respond to the direct messages I've received since my post, I'm alright but not fantastic. I'm likely to have a tough time over the next few weeks, but everything will be fine once I get back on track. If there's anything missing from the update that you want to know about, please leave a question in the comments and I'll attempt to respond as soon as possible.